Muy buenas a todos, gente, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estáis? Bienvenidos a un nuevo vídeo, bienvenidos a un nuevo directo. Voy a poner la camarita un poquito más para la izquierda. Ahora sí, papá. O no, un poquito más para atrás. Por ejemplo, ahora sí. Muy buenas a todos, gente, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estáis? Bienvenidos a un nuevo vídeo, bienvenidos a un nuevo directo. Capítulo número 4 de The Council. Tremendo jueguito. Voy a darle a para que vaya entrando. Y todas estas cositas que haya como musiquita de fondo, así como un poquito de misteriosa. Eh, um, Antes que nada, si estás viendo esto en YouTube, te gusta mi contenido y todas estas cosas, dale like. Y si no te has suscrito, suscríbete. Todos estos directos hechos en Twitch todos los días o casi todos los días por la mañana, a veces por la noche, muy poco por la noche, pero a veces. Pero bueno, eso, intentamos de hacer directo todos los días por la mañana. Dicho esto, eh, muchas gracias por el apoyo que le estáis dando al canal en general. Es una puta barbaridad. O sea, no sé qué está pasando. Voy a ver si se escucha todo y está todo bien. Vale, sí, está todo perfecto. Así que eso, muchísimas gracias en general por todo. Eh, Le estáis dando apoyo a casi prácticamente todas las series. He dejado atrás, la única serie que he dejado atrás que sé que no voy a seguir es la de Metro Exodus. Esa serie la voy a dejar tal cual. No porque no haya tenido aceptación, que no la ha tenido, eh, es que no me apetece. O sea, no me apetece, sinceramente. Así que, tal. Y de las sofás, pues bueno, ya veremos. A lo mejor, porque ya he jugado a todo, o sea, me he pasado todo lo que quería pasarme. Me falta el de Council, que es a lo que nos vamos a... Es que Lola se ha hecho un búnker en mi cama. Y digo, ¿qué estoy escuchando? Y es literalmente Lola que se ha metido debajo de mis sábanas y se ha hecho ahí como un búnker. Perfecto. Así que eso, ¿vale? Vamos a centrarnos en el de Council. Vamos a pasárnoslo y después no sé a lo que voy a jugar. No sé si me pasaré el de las sofás parte 2. No lo sé. Tranquilos, que en algún momento me lo pasaré. Que yo sé que os suda la polla, que es cierto que el primer episodio ha tenido bastante apoyo, pero es un juego que tengo que elegir yo cuando jugar, porque es un juego en el que yo voy a llorar, lo voy a pasar mal y no me apetece, no me apetece. Entonces por eso siempre lo dejo como un poco alejado, porque no me apetece pasarlo mal en el juego, porque le tengo mucho cariño a muchas cosas de la saga, por así decirlo, saga, que son dos juegos. Pero bueno, no sé si jugar, ¿vale? Después del The Council, no sé si jugar al Deadloop o al menos probarlo, como por ejemplo hice con el Returnal, que lo probé, no me convenció y jugué 2 horas. Probar el Deadloop, al menos probarlo, y si me mola pues no lo pasamos, o pasarnos el Tiny Tina Wonderland, que es un juego que me gasté 100 pavos y que ahí se quedó. No sé, no sé. Yo creo que voy a pasarme el de Council, voy a probar el Deadloop. Si me mola, me lo paso. Si no me hace tanta gracia como para pasármelo, le doy al Tina. Creo que es una muy buena idea. Dicho esto, vamos al lío. Nos quedamos aquí en, en la zona... ¿Cómo se...? Vale, no me acuerdo de nada, tío. Ah, con el R2, vale. Nos quedamos en la zona esta. Inventario... La espada, ¿dónde la he puesto? Vale, aquí. Vale. Yo ya he hecho los deberes.
Theseus.
Sacar espada. Yo ya he hecho los deberes.
Let's try
Y ya
something
sé dónde
else
va.
instead.
Uf, yo. Ahí está. Que me estaba quedando sordo, colega. Yo ya he hecho los deberes. Y sé dónde va. Y va aquí.
Minos.
¿Quién era Minos?
He and his queen, Pasiphae, were the monarchs of Crete.
Observar
The
grieta.
crack is in the region of the heart. It's a thin crack as long as a finger. A blade could easily enter.
Una hoja podría caber fácilmente. Por eso sé que es este tío. Y yo no caí. No caí en que pudiera ser este hombre. Pero lo que no entiendo es por qué va aquí. Si es aquí, no lo entiendo. Pero bueno. Dicho esto, vamos para acá. Pulsar. Hostias. Entra papá. Vamos para adentro. Otra visión. O sea, pues una visión en la escalera.
Again?
You can't be serious, Manuel. You know that's not going to happen.
You must leave me alone now. I have agreed to everything. Even to...
Agreed? I wasn't aware you had a choice.
What's going on here?
What now? What else must I do to win back my
Recuperar
freedom?
mi libertad.
Obey me. Now get out.
Obedecerme.
What was that? That's the third time in 3 days.
Una vez al día toca siempre pizza. Cógete un pañuelito, coño. Sí. O es pintura o es sangre, picha.
Let's see if you're in there, mother.
Y tiene más pinta de sangre que de pintura. Obviamente es pintura, gente. Bajaros. ¿Vos? Hostia, pensaba que terminaba aquí el capítulo.
Amber.
Es que claro, vengo de Hitman, que me lo estaba tomando todo a coña. A otra vez el de Counseling, que es aquí todo muy serio.
Bandages. Someone's been patching themselves up.
Curándose las
It's
heridas.
like my mother took advantage of being in hiding to change her bandages, huh? This is silk. She must have used her own clothes. There are patches where the blood isn't totally clotted. That's a good sign, right? She changed them recently. which proves she's still looking after herself and still believes in her chances. Oh, I'd love to tell her to keep hanging in there.
Yo iba a decir que era la hermana de... Hostia. No lo toques.
Damn it, Mother. Now what's happened?
Joder, ¿qué más? ¿Qué más hubiera hecho? No he hecho una puta mierda, tío. Podría haber encontrado a alguien importante en la cripta. Podría haber convencido a Pike para que me revelara información importante. Pero voy a haber escuchado escondida la conversación. Ya, pero es que claro. No. Podría haber convencido para que... Nada. Bueno, siguiente. Qué mal, tío. Qué puta mierda de... Qué puta mierda de esto, tío. Como hemos hecho aquí. La verdad. Nivel 2. Nivel 1. 2, 4 ciencias, tío. Logística, distracción, política. Mira, voy a meterme 2 para ya subirla. Y voy a meter 2 aquí también para subirla también. Después, inventario. ¿Qué me voy a subir? Puedo subirme... Buah, puedo subirme a unas muy malas. Ciencia. Y ya a la próxima me la subo a nivel 2. Ciencia. La siguiente, ciencia. Validar. En la boca del lobo. Bien, bueno, pues capítulo 2 terminado. Capítulo 2 terminado. Vale. Pues venga, vamos para allá.
The only thing I can tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
You must leave me alone now. I have agreed to everything. Even to...
But you do realize your mother will have to accept the consequences of her acts.
I hope that your search will prove successful and bring Sarah back to us soon.
I'll be leaving now because whatever it is you're up to, I do not want to know.
Since then, we have become one and the same. We have officially erased the identity of my sister Emma. Emily Hillsborough. The woman with two faces.
Everyone seems to be a little unnecessarily heated. Don't forget where you are, please.
Nos van a meter una polla por el culo. O sea, es que... Manuscrito para equipar 3. Tiki. Tiki. Y tiki. 3. De una. De 1 hemos pasado a 3. Episodio 3.
Louis? Louis, the conference is about to start any minute. This is not the time to be... Damn it. What's going on?
I don't know exactly, Mr. President. I was looking for my mother and I came upon this body.
My God. You don't think Sarah did it, do you?
No.
No, I don't think so. Why would she have attacked a servant?
If no one saw you, I'd advise you not to get involved, Louis, so that no one will accuse you of the murder. Ah, darling, the conference is starting. Time is of the essence. Sort this out and join us as quickly as you can in the conference room. Everyone will be expecting you.
Mr. President, this is not really the right time, and I didn't come for that.
Your mother's seat cannot remain vacant. You must replace her while she's still missing. Your mother and I were to support Mortimer on this project. I don't know what the subject is, but the future of our countries depends on it. Given the importance of all this to Mortimer, he won't let the conference begin without you. So if you don't want more servants coming looking for you, I'd advise you to join us quickly and to put a brave face on it. The best favor you can do for yourself, Louis, and for Sarah, is to come and support Mortimer's project at the conference.
Sí.
Don't worry. You can count on me, Mr. President. I shall help you with Mortimer's project as soon as I've finished up here.
Good, Louis. Sarah would be proud of you.
Es que
I'll
si
stall
no...
them while you're on.
Es que si no... Pero, ¿sabes una cosa que no me está gustando al juego? Y creo que es de las únicas. Es que todo el rato te presiona el juego para que tengas dos opciones y que solamente puedes elegir una. Y es como, vamos a ver, chicos, siempre me voy a perder algo. No sé si lo hacen para que te lo vuelvas a rejugar y hagas las otras cosas que te has dejado. O no lo sé, pero es que no lo puedas hacer todo. O probar algo, ¿sabes? O no hacer nada, pero probar dos cosas a medias. Me da igual, lo que sea. Pero, chico, es que están todo el rato de, no, hay que hacer esto o esto, elige. ¿Sabes?
Wait,
Como,
but
chico, de
make
verdad.
haste. I'm going. Don't be long.
Otra
Tell
vez.
them that I'm on my way.
Vale.
An old blanket
¿Cuánto vieja?
from the leftover food.
Comida.
Ugh, not exactly
Libro.
fresh. Must have been here for a while. Someone's made a fire here, and the ashes are still warm. If
Vale.
you're the one who did it, Mother, it couldn't have been easy with only one hand.
La ceniza.
I must have just missed her. If only I hadn't wasted so much time getting out of Lord Mortimer's study.
Vale. ¿Qué más? Aquí.
Well, the gate is locked.
Una puerta cerrada. Hostia. Buenísima. Que le llegue. Cuerpo.
Oh, he's dead.
Hombre.
What the hell's been going on here?
Examinar
He
cuerpo.
smashed in the back of his head with something. He slowly bled to death. But that isn't what killed him. They broke his neck.
Buscar. Tal, mirar abajo.
Let's see what secret's hidden under these masks. His face doesn't ring a bell. I'm a bit disappointed.
Vámonos.
Might have expected more from Lord Mortimer.
Listo.
Mother, if this is your doing, the situation is getting worse and worse.
Listo. Vámonos. ¿Dónde era, tío? Era por la derecha. Sí, era por ahí. Donde Ícaro. Pero por allí. ¿Por aquí? Puede ser. Sí, por aquí. Por aquí, por aquí, por aquí. ¿Dónde coño está la puta conferencia? Tiriti, tiriti, tiriti. Comedor. Por ahí. Hola.
Monsieur de Richet, you're the only one missing at the conference. Please join the guests.
Sí, pero ¿dónde está la conferencia? Por ahí no es. ¿Dónde está la conferencia, campeón? Estoy dejando cosas, tío, seguro. ¿Qué es? Abrojo. ¿Qué polla es el abrojo, tío? Mierda.
Monsieur de Richet, you are expected at the conference.
La conferencia, pero ¿dónde está la conferencia? ¿Y yo?
Please take the door to your left to join the guests.
La puerta de la izquierda. Aquí. Vale. Sala nueva.
Respect to any other leading character is not wrong.
Totally wrong, I assure you.
I have suspected it for some time.
That does seem the same.
A fragment of amber.
Fragmento de ámbar.
My son, glad you're here. It seems Lord Mortimer's been waiting for you to arrive before beginning. What a pity your mother isn't here for the conference. I hope I'll be able to see her before I leave. I still have
La carta que nosotros no abrimos.
Feeling all right, Louis? You look like you're miles away.
Everything's fine. Don't worry.
Lord Mortimer wants to talk to you, Louis. Don't make him wait.
Vale. Con Lord Mortimer. Una monedita. Tique, 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 tique. Lord Mortimer. A ver.
A chest with a motif representing the alchemical symbol of water.
Agua.
Your conjecture is totally wrong, I assure you.
I have suspected it for
Y
some
llave
time,
de la
but now
derecha.
I am convinced.
I have already told her so once. By your desire.
Are you quite sure, sir? Is there not a little mistake somewhere?
Yes, because she asked him at last, and he could
Perfecto.
not answering her, but she said he seemed
Ahora hablo
to like
contigo.
being spoken to.
But it is not sound. No, it is not sound.
Your conjecture is totally wrong, I assure you.
I have suspected it for some time, but now I am convinced.
I have already told her so once. By
Ahí
your
está.
desire.
Are you quite sure,
Pero
sir? Is
me
there
meto
not a
otra.
mistake somewhere?
Y me meto otra.
Because she asked
Ahí
him at
está.
last, and he could not help answering her, but she said he seemed to like
Perfecto.
being spoken to.
But it is not sound.
Monedita.
No, she's not acting by design, is she?
Otro.
But with respect to
Hago esto, me meto esto y hago esto.
Ah, Louis, I've been expecting you. Thank you for joining us. We are about to begin our conference. Let me explain what is at stake.
Thank you kindly, but what do you expect of me exactly? My mother's the one who's supposed to attend, not me.
That is indeed what was initially intended. Unfortunately, she still hasn't been found, and my guests can't stay here indefinitely. The conference must begin, and it would be truly beneficial to the Order to join in the project. Consequently, I would like you to replace her during her absence. What is at stake here is of the utmost importance.
It's important that the French Order gets their say. And should you need any advice, don't worry, you are not alone, Louis.
Very well. Can you give me a brief explanation of the aim of it all?
Of course, Louis, I was coming to that. The aim of these meetings is to bring together the most influential people in order to think together about the future.
But the future of who?
Of the world, Louis.
Our desire is to steer the destiny of our respective countries for the good of all, and to no longer suffer the random hazards of history.
Vale.
In concrete terms, how do you organize your discussions?
A conference is always organized the same way. There are two masters of ceremony who determine an important subject.
You and Sir Gregory, I presume.
Exactly. We shall be the masters of ceremony. It was our obligation to each bring to the table several guests in order to debate a subject. Once the debate is closed, a decision will be made by a vote of all the participants.
By a unanimous vote. If the project is not agreed on by all, then it will be rejected.
And neither of the two masters of ceremony have the right to vote.
It's up to the guests alone to decide, Louis. In other words, us.
Gregory and myself are merely the go-betweens. Finally, if the project is validated, each guest goes home and starts working to make it happen.
It can take years.
Joder.
Can you give me an example of an event that was decided here before being implemented in the outside world?
Well, take the French Revolution. It was decided right here 2 years before its implementation in France.
Concerning the case of the French Revolution, I wasn't invited. But as far as the American Revolution is concerned, Louis, I can testify that we planned it 5 years.
O sea que esta gente no se anda con chiquita. Vale, no tengo más preguntas.
Louis, let me keep you a moment. I would like to let you in on a secret before we begin, because I'm going to need your assistance. You see, the project I'm going to present concerns the territory of Louisiana in North America. It's currently Spanish territory, and I'm going to make the proposition to the Assembly for it to become French.
Continúe.
My idea is to increase the territory of the United States. The first stone of this vast project consists of getting Spain to cede Louisiana to France. Once it becomes French, France will hand it over to the United States, which will then allow them to double the size of their territory. And that's where you come in. France and the United States, hand in hand, two democracies illuminating the world.
But why spread it over 2 phases? Why not announce the overall project immediately?
Unfortunately, if Spain were to hear that the intention of all this is to allow the United States to grow, they would never sign. Manuel Godoy is perfectly aware of President Washington's appetite. If the United States took Louisiana, Godoy would know full well that he will have lost the entire North American continent. Things must take place in several stages. Otherwise, the change will be too brutal, and he will have no choice but to reject the project. Take a look at them. Apart from President Washington, they all belong to monarchies. Do you really think they won't resist? Of course they'll fight, fearful as they are of losing their precious privileges. But the world needs visionaries, like you, like your mother. It's a pity Sarah isn't here to see it. She only knew about a tiny part of the project. I hope I can count on you, Louis. It's time to start now. I must ask you to keep it to yourself for the time being. Take a seat, follow the discussions. We'll have an opportunity to catch up later, and you'll be able to let me know your thoughts.
Me estoy agobiando, ¿eh? Joder,
My
muchas
friends,
cosas,
I
tío.
propose we get started. First of all, I would like to thank you for taking the time to come.
The honor is ours, my lord.
As per our custom, here we are all together to discuss the face of tomorrow's world. Even though there may be certain tensions between our nations, I must ask you to keep an open mind. As Sarah de Richet is unable to be among us, please welcome Louis de Richet, who will represent the Golden Order and will vote on its behalf when the time comes.
Welcome among us, Louis.
Welcome, Monsieur. I hope he'll be more effective than his mother regarding the protection of the King of France. The Order has proved particularly inefficient.
Come, Manuel, you're not going to spoil our visit. The Order's mission was not to protect King Louis XVI, as far as I am aware.
We are talking about a king of divine blood, for goodness sake. It seemed obvious to me he needed protecting. If the Golden Order wants to pride itself on being an influential organization, it should have kept him alive.
I'm sorry about the fate of the King of France, Duke Manuel. However, I'm surprised at your remark. How can a man like me have changed the course of things where a man like you, powerful, capable of influencing international politics, was unable to do any better?
Perhaps we may begin, Lord Mortimer.
Se acabó de callar la puta boca.
I have a dream that our nations will continue to support each other, more now than ever before. A dream that, for the sake of common good, we will do what it takes to ensure stability in the modern world. I have a dream that we shall lead by example and ensure that the American territory may remain in peace.
Thank you for the thought, Lord Mortimer, but I don't see where you're leading.
I'm coming to it, Mr. President. I need not remind you that North America is currently divided between the United States on the East Coast and Spain, which occupies the remaining 2/3 of the continent. Well, I propose that Spain cede the center of the continent to France, namely all of Louisiana.
Louisiana? But, well, it is not for sale. Lord Mortimer, I sincerely hope I have not come all this way just to hear you ramble on about what Spain should and should not do. When we went to all the trouble of gaining the territory a few years ago, it was not just to lose it today. Have I made myself clear?
What did I tell you, William? You speak of union, and yet here you are, about to tear us apart.
Duke Manuel, I perfectly understand you. But rest assured, you will soon adore my proposition. You shall see.
Well, since you give me the choice, my good fellow, allow me to doubt it. However, I am impatient to hear what Spain could possibly gain from the sale of Louisiana.
I never spoke of a sale, my good fellow.
What? I do not understand.
There is one more territory left to conquer, if I'm not mistaken, in the northwest. It is, of course, occupied by your notorious Indians, but...
We shall soon be rid of the savages, so that is not a question.
Quedarse callado.
Duke Manuel, I believe that Spain should see
No vamos a entrar en todo.
free of charge.
This is utterly grotesque, Lord Mortimer. What a strange example you set for your young protege. Isn't that so, Monsieur de Richet? Do you understand anything of this proposition?
We are neighbors, Duke Manuel. Remember, your main rival in Europe is more likely to be England, who is plowing the seas right up your coastline. Hand over Louisiana to France and make her a prime ally.
Come, Louis. Spain and Great Britain are already allies and have nothing to gain by breaking their alliance.
Even if I do agree, Duchess, the omnipresence of the English fleet in Atlantic waters does not particularly please me.
I must say, William, I find your project mostly disfavors me. I thought you were my friend.
And I am, Mr. President. That is why I'm doing everything in my power to calm your expansionist fervor. France, in Louisiana, should persuade you not to attempt anything to take the territory by force. Louisiana is a vast wetland where you would needlessly lose most of your troops. It would weaken you and offer certain nations the perfect opportunity to take back your famous United States. I am protecting you from yourself, George. Trust me.
I understand. But with friends like you, sir, I certainly don't need any more enemies. I hope you know what you're doing.
Am I imagining things, or does it look like Washington isn't aware of Mortimer's plan?
Not to put too fine a point on it, Lord Mortimer, but I doubt the Holy See would be in favor of Catholic Louisiana being handed over to secular revolutionaries and king killers.
I should think Monsieur de Richet has an opinion on this subject, does he not?
Your Eminence, have no fear over that. I am sure France will do everything in its power to protect the Christians of Louisiana.
My young friend, how can you come out with such a remark after the discussion we had on the evening of your arrival? If France was so respectful of worship, it would not be bleeding priests, as it is doing at this very moment in time. Don't be naive. This is politics. The Holy See must be concerned at seeing
La
such a
estoy cagando,
large
tío.
territory
Mejor me quedo callado,
falling into
macho.
the hands of the French. Mi auguro che insegnerete l'educazione a questo giovanotto presuntuoso, Sir Gregory.
I hope that you will teach this pretentious young man some manners, Sir Gregory. It looks like I won't be just making friends here.
In any case, my lord, I doubt the English crown will agree.
Ich versichere Ihnen, Emily, nie Preußen wird diese Vereinbarung akzeptieren.
I assure you, Emily, the Prussian will never accept this agreement. Volner looks like he's set on ruining Mortimer's plan.
Duchess, I am persuaded that we shall find a common ground. That's enough, William. These are grave times. We don't care about the fate of Louisiana. That worthless expanse of putrid swamps interests no one but yourself.
Speak for yourself, my friend.
Hold on there, Mr. Royal Gigolo. Lower the volume, and let Sir Gregory finish.
Home, Godoy, and now Volner? Mortimer's adversaries are ready to tear each other to pieces, and he takes a malicious pleasure in watching it happen.
La estoy cagando.
How dare
Gentlemen, let us try to remain calm.
There you are, William. See where your projects have taken us, as per usual. Chaos! That's enough. I'm tired. We shall continue this discussion tomorrow, but please be aware that your project will never be ratified. Those who are opposed to this project, follow me. Are you coming with us, Monsieur de Richet? Come, Gregory. I think Louis would rather stay. Wouldn't you, Louis?
Ayudar a Mortimer.
As for me, I think I shall remain with Lord Mortimer, Sir Gregory.
You are committing a grave error, Louis.
Eso lo
Time will
apoyo.
tell.
Joder, tío, le he cagado por todos lados, macho.
My friends, I would like to thank you for staying.
Good God, William. What is this I hear about you reinforcing military power in Louisiana? I have no interest in having France for a neighbor, and you know that very well.
Calm down, George. Louis, explain our plan to Mr. Washington, please.
You see, Mr. President, Lord Mortimer anticipates that once France obtains Louisiana, they will cede it to you.
What do you mean? To us? The United States?
You heard right.
But
President Washington, the United States will double in size.
By what miracle have you...
You need to expand, George. You and France are the two major democracies in the modern world. It is necessary that you both become superpowers.
Are you really going to sponsor democracy throughout the world?
Of course, Monsieur Peru. That's why I don't want Spain to get too attached to those weapons. Please continue, Louis. Explain my vision to Mr. President.
By going through France, Spain won't suspect that it's you who's going to take possession of Louisiana. They'll even believe that France will be a protective buffer between itself in California and you on the East Coast. If Senor Godoy was afraid that you might take the territory by force, now he is reassured. You would never attack France.
But why didn't you tell me before?
So that Lord Mortimer would appear to be isolated without support.
Exactly. You got it, Louis.
Lord Mortimer retains the advantage by advancing undercover. And for it to work, he needed you to act surprised.
William, you haven't changed. Always one step ahead.
1 step ahead? You're joking. More like 5.
On that note, my friends, it's getting late. Mr. President, continue to take offense over my project when we resume the conference in the morning. You do it to a T. And if Sir Gregory has the audacity to send you an emissary to convince you to go against me, do me a favor. String him along if you can. The more they believe we are divided, the more we'll have our hands free.
Only too happy to oblige.
Now, let us get some rest. We've got a big day tomorrow. Good night, gentlemen.
Good night.
Louis, if you have a minute,
Estaba clarísimo.
I'd like to ask a favor of you. I'm going to require your services.
How can I be of help? Tell me all about it.
Our adversaries are many, and the closing vote of the conference will soon be upon us. Time is of an essence, so I'll need you to assist me this evening.
How can I help?
I need you to go this very evening to persuade Senor Godoy to join us. He is the backbone of Gregory's resistance. Turn him round, and all the others will follow in such a stampede that Gregory will be able to do nothing but admit defeat.
Lord Mortimer, with all due respect, don't you think I'm the last person Godoy wants to talk to?
I'm sure you can do it. I believe in you.
Lord Mortimer, you're not telling me everything.
Let's say I wouldn't disapprove if the Right Honorable, though nonetheless choleric, Duke Manuel put you in his bad books. If it could motivate him to declare war on France, it would greatly serve our interests.
War? What do you mean?
I told you before the conference. The more we distract Spain from the Americas, the less it will have an eye on Louisiana.
But all the same, we're talking about a war in Europe.
Don't worry. That's why Mr. Bonaparte is with us. I am convinced we'll be perfectly capable of managing the conflict. And Senor Godoy is not a great soldier. He will not commit Spain to a long war that he won't be capable of managing.
I'll go straight away.
Thank you, my boy. And get some rest afterwards. Big day tomorrow.
Joder. Qué puta locura, tío. A Manuel. Al soplapolla. Sí, al soplapolla.
Aren't you afraid our projects for Italy may be discovered before we... Oh, please excuse us, Louis, but I need to speak with Lord Mortimer in private.
No. What do you want, Louis?
I shall be leaving you.
Voy a dejarlo ya. Que hablen tranquilitos. Epa. Esto estaba igual y esto estaba igual. Waldo. Bien. No creo que haya nada por aquí, ¿verdad? Vamos por abajo. Intenta convencer a Manuel. Y... de Perú. Bonaparte. Washington. ¿Cómo se llama? Godoy. ¿Dónde coño está? Ah.
Monsieur Johann van Wulner.
¿Y puedo entrar? Qué raro, ¿no?
The Great Work of the Soul by S. Madone. Pure alchemy is a thought, an art that is performed on the matter of the soul. Great alchemists work to transform and perfect the latter by a series of processes known as the Great Work. There are 4 phases to attain the ultimate in spiritual fulfillment. Very metaphorical as occult theories go, the human spirit being the prima materia of the alchemist.
Ah, vale, mirar. Vale, vámonos. Habitación de Adams. Elizabeth Adams.
President George Washington.
El presidente. Vale. Aquí no hay nada.
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal.
El Pierre. 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 ¿Dónde está Pierre? Oh, Pierre. Vaya suerte de mierda.
Ah, Monsieur de Richet. You wouldn't have seen Duke Manuel by any chance, would you?
I was going to ask you the same question.
I wanted to speak to him, but no one will open the door. I'm not sure he's in there.
If I want to pass through, I'll have to get Volner out of the way. I've searched all over the manor, but I can't find him.
One thing's for sure, Monsieur de Richet. He's neither in his room nor on this floor. I've just looked all over.
I propose we both look for him. The first to find him tells the Duke that the other is also looking for him. Agreed?
Perfect. Let's do that. I shall have a look in the library. If you find the Duke before me, tell him I want to speak to him.
Yes. Let's proceed as you say.
Thank you, Monsieur de Richet.
Right. Now be a good boy and go look somewhere else.
A tomar por culo. A tomar por culo.
Carmelite water will give you a
Chupala
little
un
reprieve.
rato. Chupala, chupala. Llave símbolo del aire.
Mary Louise of Parma. How ironic having a painting of the Queen of Spain in one's room, my Lord Duke.
Me gusta nada este hombre, tío.
Hey, it looks like someone slipped something in the back here. It's a letter. Let's see what it says. It reeks of perfume, and it's written in Spanish. Godoy, you really are a little devil.
Traducir no me da.
So, let's see what it says.
Mi delicada Pepita, siento muy culpable por estar tan lejos de ti de nuevo, aunque sea por el bien de mi país. Me siento fatal por haber tenido que marcharme tras una estúpida discusión, ya que eres la única mujer a la que amo. Josefa, para siempre. Ya te lo he dicho antes, todo lo que tengo, todo lo que puedo ofrecerte, se lo debo al afecto de la reina. Sigamos unidos, por favor, incluso en el sacrificio, por nosotros y por nuestros futuros hijos. Deja de ponerte celosa, tú eres la única que ocupa mis pensamientos. Todo lo demás es un juego, te lo juro.
It seems the Queen isn't the only one enjoying the Lord Duke's favors.
Okay.
If the Queen found out, it would cost him dearly. I'll keep it with me. You never know.
Para hacerle un poquito de chantaje. ¡Baf! Me mola. Aparte que te digo, no me gusta nada el pavo este.
Manuel Godoy, a painting of himself in his room. Now that's not going to help him develop a sense of modesty.
Egocéntrico, que va, hombre. Vale. Una novela, un cuadro. Poca cosa. Moneda. ¿De qué es? Vale. Aquí no hay gran cosa. Libro. La nobleza de la espada. ¿Puede que sea esta? Efectivamente, agilidad.
Amber crystals.
¡Bof! Ámbar, papá. Una espada ahí, tío, suelta. Parece una espada, tío, pero vamos, que eso te mata, ¿eh?
Prometheus, punished for stealing fire from the gods and giving it to man.
Mirar, creo que había un libro. ¿Dónde estaba el libro? Aquí.
Don Quixote, talking without thinking is like shooting without taking aim.
Hablar sin pensar es como disparar sin apuntar. Ojo, cuidado, ¿eh? Vamos a salir fuera. Vale, vamos a ir a la otra puerta. Vale. Este es mi cuarto, ¿verdad?
Golden elixir.
Elixir dorado. Rápido. Vale. Elixir dorado, ¿qué era? Sí, este es nuestro cuarto. Sí, sí. Pues mira de una. Vamos a salir. Vamos a entrar. Y poca cosa más, tío. Yo no veo gran cosa, ¿eh? La bañera.
Charles IV of Spain. Now there's no chance of Godoy forgetting who he owes everything to.
¿Listo? Salimos.
Duke Manuel Godoy.
Voy a bajar. Aquí no hay nadie. Voy a mirar la entrada. ¿Puedo salir?
Lord Mortimer certainly has a taste for staging rooms.
No. No, no puedo.
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service day and night, sir.
Have you seen Duke Manuel?
The Duke is in the dining room, sir.
En el comedor. Comedor. Está allí. Sí. Muchas gracias, tío. Te lo agradezco. Tocando el piano está, tío.
Duke Manuel?
Well, well. Monsieur de Richet, I was not expecting you. I am not in the mood, sir, I warn you. What do you want from me, sir?
I see you're still feeling under pressure. Since your arrival, I've noticed that you've been on the defensive. It seems to me that Monsieur Peru has a knack for getting your back up.
That is the least you can say. Indeed. I was warned. I knew what to expect. For God's sake, why in the hell did your people execute their king? Have the French gone stark, raving mad? There are nothing but monarchies in power in Europe. They will all come crashing down on you.
We shall see. It might, well, turn out to be the opposite.
You certainly do not lack for audacity, young man. Just tell me one thing, monsieur. Why did you side with Mortimer? He is alone, isolated. The United States can do nothing to help you, and France is surrounded by over 10 countries, just waiting for the word to pounce. Really, I do not see why you choose Mortimer.
But, monsieur, Just think about it. It will enable the United States to become a giant democratic state. What a message for the rest of the world.
We will shove your damn democracy down your throat, Richet. I will raise the whole of Europe against you. Tell me, do you really believe Spain has any interest in ceding Louisiana to France?
Duke Manuel, for Spain, I don't know. But for you, I'm convinced that Lord Mortimer will thank you generously.
You would not be trying to bribe me, would you?
Nothing could be further from my mind. It would be an insult to believe that someone such as yourself might have a practical attitude towards its virtue. Even so, it is only natural that you be supported and encouraged if you were to follow Lord Mortimer, isn't it?
Indeed, for services rendered, it would be natural for me to receive compensation for the time spent achieving such an undertaking, yes?
Naturally. And, given your status, my Lord Duke, the compensation would have to be considerable.
Naturally. Tell me one last thing. What would I gain from all this?
If you continue with home, our two countries will become rivals. It could turn into war. Who knows?
It is likely, even.
A war, Duke Manuel. On our own territories. Do you really see yourself committing the Kingdom of Spain to an armed conflict against France? Can you imagine the financial investment required? Not to mention the loss of lives and dishonor at the slightest defeat. Do you see yourself being the man responsible for that?
No, but you are the one who's pushing me into it, you damned Frenchman!
I'm not pushing you into anything, Duke Manuel. If you are a man of the future and of progress, as I'm given to believe, you will know how much suffering a war would bring.
Come on, you fool, give it up. You're trapped like a rat.
Monsieur, I am astounded. I did not think you capable, but you have succeeded. I will be more wary of you the next time. Nonetheless, if you can guarantee Lord Mortimer's support, then yes, you can count on my vote when the time comes. However, I expect you to be discreet with regard to my former partners, without which our agreement would become null and void.
Of course, my Lord Duke. You can count on me. Lord Mortimer will be delighted to hear the news.
I hope you know what you are getting into, Louis. I bid you good luck.
Good night, my Lord Duke.
See you tomorrow. Well, that's one thing out of the way. Only thing left to do is wait for the call.
Me han dado una de esta que es cónsul. De política, papá. Nivel 2. Lógica.
It's to resume tomorrow morning.
Vete a la cama. A tomar por culo. Vete a dormir ya, pisa. ¿Cuánto Lysid dorado tengo? ¿3? Sí, vale. Vale, es a la derecha. Hostia.
Hey, Peru's name tag's fallen off, and his door's ajar. A pattern with 4 circles. Pattern with 4 circles.
La llave. Bof.
Dear Monsieur Peru, I'm writing to thank you for the funds you sent. These funds will be crucial for the renovation of the western wing of the orphanage. The children you sent are doing marvelously well, and little Pierre will soon be walking. Some of them still sometimes suffer nightmares about their parents on the scaffold, but I expect they will cease. I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later. Dear Monsieur, I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
Está afuera.
Leave me, Deriche. I don't feel like talking.
Your door was ajar, and, well, given the state of your room, I was worried.
It's none of your business.
Very well. I'll leave you then. See you tomorrow, monsieur.
I asked you to leave me alone.
Vale. Tío, pues perdón, tío. Pues nada, chico. A dormir la mono. No tengo mucho, no te voy a mentir. No tengo una mansión. Vivo en un piso pequeño con una habitación, pero si quieres venir, tú solo dímelo. Va Petro.
Good evening, Monsieur le Français.
Duchess, you're here. What a charming surprise. I'm beginning to think you can't be without me.
You have managed to penetrate my armor, sir. Am I disturbing you, perhaps?
That's not what I said.
Ah, by the way, you surprised me during the conference.
Why's that?
Well, you are going to lose. Why stay with Lord Mortimer?
I believe he has every chance of winning.
My, you are a rash one. However, if ever you want to change sides, please feel free to let me know.
But tell me, you didn't come here to try and make me change my mind, did you?
That's the last thing on my mind, although you would have everything to gain by it.
¿Por qué iba a cambiar de bando?
Do you perhaps know something that I don't? Come on, Emily. It's time you lay your cards on the table. If you have a good reason for Spain to keep Louisiana, I'm all ears.
Louis, I can assure you on good authority that the Crown will never let France take over Louisiana without taking firm action. Your country has everything to lose, especially now, it being weakened as it is on the home front.
In other words, you believe the aim is to weaken France?
Just an observation, Louis. Louis, if you trust me, you ought to ask yourself why I have chosen home. You do trust me, don't you?
Of course, Emily. You know you have my full trust.
Louis, you're lying. That's not good. Any more of that and I might get upset. Admit, though, that it does make you think. There's still time, you know. Join us before it's too late.
Unfortunately, my word is my bond. I don't want to leave Lord Mortimer in the lurch.
Very well, as you wish. It's up to you to
Voluntad
decide.
de hierro.
Tell me, are these visits to Mortimer's always so intense?
Yes and no. My sister doesn't normally disappear like she has. Any news of your mother?
Well, I should imagine you're still shaken. I promise to shed light on my mother's circumstances as soon as possible.
There's not much to shed light on. What your mother did is inexcusable. She won the trust of my sister in order to more easily betray her. She didn't do anything to her. Can we change subject, please? I didn't come here to go through all that again.
Of course, it's late. You're right.
Filetazo. Filetito empanado, ¿eh? Filetito empanado en baguette calentita. En baguette calentita con un poquito de ketchup. Muy bueno, ¿eh? Una Coca-Colita, unas patatas fritas. Increíble.
My friends, do not worry. I assure you that Lord Mortimer's plan will never see the light of day. I shall deal with informing our allies, but for the time being, I need you to make a stand.
What do you think about Monsieur de Richet?
I don't know yet. I feel there's great potential in him. He looks like he can be trusted. And Duchess Hillsborough, why isn't she here? She's busy. Don't worry about her.
Oh, isn't it time to replace her?
Not so fast, sir. She is an important figure. You ought to have a little more faith in her. What are we going to do about Washington? He will be a hard nut to crack. On our chessboard, he is Mortimer's king. Don't worry. Mr. President only wants one thing: to keep his dear America united. He won't jeopardize everything he has achieved on a whim. He has been serving Mortimer for quite some time. It won't be easy to bring him around. Do you feel all right, Mr. Godoy? You haven't said a word.
Please excuse me, gentlemen. I feel tired.
Oh, I see. I think it is high time you left us then. Now!
Imagínate el polvazo casado que vea estas visiones ya.
Emily? Emily? Are you there?
Sir, the conference is about to begin. You are expected in the conference room.
Perfecto.
Tell them I'm coming. Thank you.
Come on, Louis. The game is back on.
Vamos para allá.
My friends, the conference is about to begin. Please excuse me if I troubled you last night with my project. I understand that you might well have a few questions to ask. As you know, the final vote will be cast in a few days. This morning's aim is to answer your questions and check the temperature of your respective positions so that we may reach a greater understanding.
As always, Lord Mortimer.
We parted in perfect disagreement, my lord. Where would you like us to take it from?
Come, sir. Please let William believe he still has a chance of winning us over. Otherwise, his imprecations will lack panache, and we shall be bored stiff.
Oh, let me reassure you, I am convinced that a good night's sleep has brought sound advice, and that this morning will be even more interesting. Therefore, I would like to go around the table in order to hear everyone's first impressions.
Well, I am still firmly against it, even though my choice won't count.
Against.
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 And you, Duke Manuel?
Well, you see, it is more complicated and it...
Godoy?
Come, Gregory. Don't try to impress my guests, please.
They are not your guests.
Gregory, anyone under my roof is by definition my guest. You included. I would be very grateful if you would let my guests speak. Duke Manuel, you were saying you still had some doubts?
Well, you see, the situation has changed since last night.
What's going on here, my Lord Duke?
You see, I gave it some thought during the night. New arguments have come to light.
What do you mean, Duke Manuel?
Sir Gregory, I regret to inform you that Spain will not support you in this operation. I vote for. Moreover, in response to arguments brought to my attention, I declare war on France.
What? What is he doing?
If you think France is afraid of you, you are dreaming.
Over 10 nations rise against you, young man, and you behave like a yapping little dog?
When the French armies are at your door, my Lord Duke, you will change your tune. Well, as for me, I am for Lord Mortimer's project, despite Duchess Hillsborough's overwhelmingly convincing nocturnal attentions.
What? So Emily was playing at trying to win over guests last night?
It was nothing more than a friendly little chat, of course.
How could it
Por
be
mí,
otherwise?
por
And by
mí
the way, remember me to your husband.
apareció,
President
apareció
Washington. What is your position?
el nepardo
Of course.
ahí de repente también, ¿no?
That leaves just yourself
Y
and
esa es una
Monsieur
sala con
Poirot,
él.
Louis.
You're all making me sick. Look at yourselves.
What?
You are pathetic!
Have you been drinking or what?
There you are, quibbling away. My Lord Duke this, and Madame Duchess that. You know very well that we're nothing but puppets on a damn string.
Jacques, really?
Let's end the charade. It's over.
Jacques,
My lord, thank you for everything you've done for me over the years. But it didn't come for free. And now I see the price is too high to pay. I'll stop.
come, Jacques, we'll talk it over.
No, I'm finished. I want my freedom back, my lord. I shall no longer work for you.
Intervenir.
Wait!
De Richet, you just can't help it, can you? Stop trying to play the hero, man!
Monsieur, I know I don't really know you, but you seem like a decent person.
I have done so many horrible things!
You blame yourself, I can see that. Everything's not lost.
I don't want to do bad things anymore.
You can take control of yourself again. You can fix whatever it is you've done.
Do you really believe that?
Of course, Jacques. You'll have all the time you need.
Perú. Inmunidad a Inquisición. A Inquisición. Inquisición. Persuasión, lógica. Todo va a salir bien. Permanezcamos unidos. Persuasión.
I'm sure we can
Todo va a
work
salir
things
bien.
out.
But you don't know him.
Let's stay united, Jack. He's nothing without us.
Really?
Trust me.
Confía en mí. Sé firme a tranquilizarlo. No quiero que muera, tío.
Calm down, Noshak. It's over.
You have no idea what you just put me through.
It would be nice if we could all settle down a bit. And let us thank Louis for his intervention. It was very courageous of him. Monsieur Peru, you could have seriously hurt someone if Monsieur de Richet here hadn't stopped you.
Salvador.
Your behavior is unacceptable. You would do better to go and rest in your apartment. My friends, we shall continue the conference later. I would like to apologize for the inexcusable behavior of my guest. We all need to recover from all of this.
¿Qué ha sido? Rasgo. Psicología. Sí, un punto.
Excitement. Take the rest of the day off.
Pues voy a poder hablar. Hola, Toto. Claro, aquí, por ejemplo, podría haber permitido que Lady me convenciera. Esto no iba a ocurrir. Podría haber seguido a Sir Gregory. No sé. Podría haber descubierto el secreto de James Peru, que lo he hecho, ¿no? O sea, he descubierto lo de la carta, ¿no? Ah, no. No. He descubierto la carta, pero no he podido hablar con él. Podría haber descubierto un secreto de Napoleón porque no he entrado en su habitación. Y podría haber descubierto un secreto de Sir Gregory porque podría haber entrado en su habitación. Y aquí he decidido de seguir a Lord Mortimer, he participado en la conferencia, he convencido a Manuel, no he permitido que Lady Moto me convenciera, he salvado a Perú y me he acostado con la chica. Perfecto. Pues muy bien. Vale, 4 puntitos. Bastante bien. Pues mira, podríamos subir esto. Lo tenemos todo. Oye, Luna. Dos. No. Voy a meter un punto. Un punto. Y ahora en inventario. Voy a meter un punto en libro. Sí. Apuestas peligrosas.
I don't understand. I spoke to him only recently.
Monsieur Peru has lost his mind. It's obvious.
Ha perdido la cabeza. Relájate un poquito.
Well, once again it has worked.
My friends, let us settle down, please. We are all in shock, of course. Let us celebrate Louis's courage. He enabled us to avert a tragedy.
Que nadie ha hecho nada.
It was very noble of you, Louis.
You have given us all a fine lesson in courage.
Thank you.
He owes you his life. That's quite something.
That madman deserves to die.
We are providing Monsieur Peru with care, but rest assured, he is no longer a danger to himself or anyone else. I think everyone needs a little rest. Can you stay a moment?
Of course.
Vale. No, es verdad, tenemos 3. Es cierto. Ahora es 3. Pues... A hablar. Si tengo. No, no tengo. Pues... Política. Política corona. No, sí, tengo libros. Mira. Política libro. Y libro. Perfecto. Política, libro, libro. Me parece bien. Inicia la misión. Dígame, señor.
Louis, I wanted to thank you personally. I admire what you did to save Monsieur Peru's life. You have given us all a wonderful lesson in courage.
Don't mention it, my lord. You would have done the same. I was just quicker.
Humility is a fine quality, sir.
Where is he now?
In his room. I've sedated him. I don't want him trying to take his life again. Or, worse yet, attacking one of the guests. When in despair, Monsieur Peru is clearly a dangerous man.
Tell me, my lord, can you think of any reason why he would be so terrified of you?
Terrified? Come now, that's a bit harsh. I think he was simply unable to put things into perspective. I see no reason to fear me. Ask President Washington. I don't believe I'm such a difficult friend.
Having spoken to him, I can assure you that he feared you even more than death itself. Had he disappointed you in any way recently?
Of course, he was on the edge. He was desperate, and it grew noticeable in his work. Our collaboration was probably coming to an end, but I certainly didn't feel the need to threaten him, ever.
But without you, no more support, no more money. It was an end to his social status. If you lost, he lost everything, didn't he?
No, not his life.
Thanks to me, I guess. On that note, my lord, I'll be leaving you. Have we covered everything?
Absolutely. Oh, Louis, one more thing, please. I wanted to thank you for your support during the conference. You've made the right choice, and it gives me tremendous satisfaction to have you with me on this project.
What is at stake is worth it, my lord. Now, I won't hide from you the fact that I have no idea by what miracle we could ever get a unanimous vote.
Trust me, Louis. We still have a few more cards to play. You'll see. Anything can happen in politics.
I'll see you later, my lord.
Muy bien. Vete a tu habitación. Vale, gente, estoy jugando con una mano, ¿vale? Así que si me veis un poquito torpe, es básicamente porque Lola ha decidido de robarme una mano, ¿vale? Y obviamente quiero que la perra duerma. Vale, tenemos que ir aquí. O sea, es que tenemos que ir a la izquierda. A la derecha. Vale.
Either to you or to someone else. Impossible to tell with you people.
Yes, sir.
Your guess is not sufficient. Tell the others, for crying out loud. Remember to close my window once you've done my room. This isn't Corsica,
Monsieur
you know.
Bonaparte.
I'm freezing. Louis, once again, bravo for what you did. If it weren't for you, Peru would have blown his brains out. You've got courage. I like this. We just lost the vote for the next conference, and we already had fewer votes than Holm. I must absolutely find a solution.
Yes. Yes, indeed. But I believe if Lord Mortimer is still confident, it's because he still has a few cards up his sleeve.
I hope so. I sincerely hope so. Unfortunately, that vote of Godoy you acquired is probably not going to suffice.
Well, it's still more than what you've done, isn't it?
I see you have a short fuse, monsieur. As someone who just started a war with Spain, if I were you, I wouldn't get on my high horse so quickly. In short, we haven't a minute to lose. I'll leave you now.
Just a minute. Why did Duchess Hillsborough go and see you last night?
Ah, I see that it bothers you not to know. I've half a mind to send you on a wild goose chase. The Duchess simply came to persuade me to change sides. But rest assured, with the most honorable intentions. Now, Louis, time is running short, and as I said, I'm in a hurry. I have to go now. I will see you later.
Qué feo. ¿Qué te pasa, cariño? Tiririririririririririr.
Next time, I'll listen to my mother. Not a day has gone by without something happening to me. What now?
¿Qué más puede pasar? ¿Que me pega un tiro?
Louis, open up, please.
Coming, Mr. President, I'm coming.
Louis. Ah, there you are at last.
Yes,
I just saw your mother. She was accompanied by Emily, and they both went into the Duchess's room. I tried to join them, but I was refused entry. Louis, this does not bode well.
Oh, shit. Emily might want to avenge her sister. I must act quickly.
You're right, Mr. President. Thank you.
Encuentra a Emily. La duquesa. La duquesa está... Tengo mucho.
I do believe that's Emily's voice. I can't open it. It must be blocked on the other side. I'll have to find another way in, quick.
Vale. Entra de aquí.
I have to get inside Emily's room through the... Shit! It's locked. No way. It's too sturdy.
Vale. Listo.
It's as if there are several people inside.
Once again, you're the one who's the victim in all this.
What on earth is... You... Mother?
How dare you do this to me? You can talk. After everything I've done for you. You are joking, I hope, right? I gave you my life. That's enough, Emma. Now that Louis is here, you will leave Sarah alone. Cease your revenge immediately. What? If you think you're going to... Louis, help me, I beg you. I can no longer reason with her. I am Emily. Quit playing games. What? Honestly, don't be ridiculous. No. I am Emily. You are wasting your time.
Madre mía,
Louis
qué
knows
lío.
very well how to tell us apart. After everything we've been through together.
Yes, well...
Don't you dare bring him into this. This is between you and me. I ask for nothing more, so stop taking it out on Sarah. You prissy little bitch! How dare you? Now that I've told you everything, you want to take my place, do you? You are joking, I hope. I'm the one who told you everything that's been going on.
Espera. Identifica a Emily. Vale. Identifica a Emily.
You were
Psicología.
away. Go on then. That's what you want, isn't it? You want to kill me. Go on then, shoot. After all the trouble I've gone through to find you. Go on. What are you waiting for? Here, Louis, take this.
Wait, what's going...
An entire life for this. Go on, shoot. Sorry, Louis, I can't shoot her. She's my sister. That's enough, Emma. Louis, out of the way. She's dangerous. Don't trust her. What are you trying to do? Louis, out of the way. I am not Emma. Come on, Louis, tell her who the real Emily is.
Wait,
That's right, Louis. I'm fed up with this little game. Tell him who the real Emily is.
Why do these things always happen to me?
Well, Louis, come on, you know how to tell us apart, right?
Yes, but I'd like to ask you a few questions to make sure there's no doubt.
Rational and open, Louis. Let's see. How can I tell them apart? Wait, I've got an idea.
On the night of our arrival...
Y adelante. ¿Quién nos acompañaba? Espérate. ¿Cómo me mola estas cosas? Vale. ¿Quién nos acompañaba?
Who was with us on the wharf?
Cardinal Piaggi. He was with us from when we started traveling by ship. We arrived on the same boat. I already told her, Louis. Another question, then. I'm the one who told you.
Right. Let's find something else.
Vale.
Ah, yes. Let's speak about my arrival at the manor.
Once we'd arrived, we stayed together, warming ourselves in front of the fire in the Great Hall with President Washington. What did we talk about?
We spoke about your mother. The President revealed our membership of the Order to you, and that we had everything to gain by trusting one another, Louis. You remember?
Very well.
Let's try something else.
On the first night, we went up to bed, but I wasn't tired. I went for a little stroll.
Al adelante.
Did we get a chance to speak?
Certainly not. I was exhausted and went to bed. Don't think you're going to get away with this deception so easily. I can assure you, you're going to regret pretending to be me once Louis has exposed you.
Right. I don't think I'll get very far like this. I'll have to find something better.
Oh, I don't think I'll even wait until he's finished.
Take it easy now.
Are you mad, Louis?
Lower your arm.
I better act quickly if I don't want things to get out of hand.
Come on, she's putting one over on you. Look at yourself, for crying out loud. You were prepared to shoot me down.
In the secret room behind the study. Talk to them about what you've been doing. Maybe they haven't spoken about it between each other yet.
On the night of the disappearance of Elizabeth Adams.
What about it? What do you want to know about that night?
Ahora adelante. A la de atrás.
We found ourselves in Mortimer's secret gallery. What relics did we find?
Property deeds in Mortimer's name dating from very long ago.
Is that all?
You mean all those mythological charms? So there was the so-called Pandora's box that wasn't a box actually. The famous golden fleece that reeked of dead goat. A broken sword that could have belonged to anyone. Is that enough?
Yes, that's enough.
You look captivated. Of course, he bought it. That's enough! I've had enough of this charade. Louis, there's only one way to tell us apart. There's just one thing I didn't tell her about in detail. Too bad for you, Emma. I didn't want it to come to this, but you leave me no choice. Ask her about you and I. You just lost, Emma. I indeed didn't tell you everything about it. Come, Louis. Speak about our intimacy.
Very well. Let's talk about us.
A la de atrás.
Describe last night, please.
Louis, it's embarrassing. You know full well what I did last night.
I want to hear you say it.
We spent it together, of course. What? I came to your room after the conference, and excuse me if I don't go into the details, but I was mightily impressed. What did you do? Look how you are reacting, Emma. It's not surprising I didn't tell you about my night with Louis. You slut!
That's enough, both of you. Now I know who the real Emily is.
Vale. Emily.
It's you, Emily.
No, Louis! She is manipulating you!
No, Emma. It's her. I know it. Despite all the trouble you've gone to put one over on me, I know it is her.
That's enough now, Emma. You little slut! Don't think you are going to get away with this so...
¿Querés?
Easily. You are going to stop your little game right now. Never. I am Duchess Hills. No.
Emily?
I am the Duchess.
But...
You don't. Dear God, what have I done? See what you've done. See?
Louis?
Mother!
What on earth is...
Go away. You must go. Everyone is going to arrive.
Louis, what's going on?
Duchess? Is everything all right?
Come on, Louis. There's nothing more you can do.
But I...
Leave us.
Emily, what's going on?
No jodas que me he equivocado, tío. Me he equivocado.
Go to the crypt. I'll meet you there.
I'll be waiting for you.
Emily.
Madam, I am coming in.
It was bound to end like this, Louis. Let me stay with her. Please. Go. I'll cover you.
What? What are you doing there? Stop!
God damn it. Now what's going on?
Quería ver. ¿Querés? Pero...
A bicorn decorated with a cockade. It must belong to a French soldier. Good God! They're all here. They must have heard the gunshot.
Where is Lord Mortimer?
Can anyone hear anything through the door?
Did you hear that? I was not dreaming, was I?
Certainly not, Duke Godoy.
What's going on?
Someone had the bang coming from the Duchess's room, and she isn't answering.
Gentlemen, go back to your rooms. Go back to your rooms. I shall find out from Lord Mortimer what this is all about. Thank you.
Tengo que bajar. En fin, la gilipolleces que tiene que aguantar uno a veces es increíble, vaya. Eh... Quería ver. No sé si me he equivocado, tío. No estoy muy seguro, ¿eh?
Louis! At last, there you are.
Mother, wait,
Come, we have to be quick.
No, wait, Mother,
Time is running out, Louis. First, we must...
No! That's enough. I won't go a step further unless you explain to me what is going on here. I'm begging you. Talk to me.
You must trust me, my son. You are not ready yet.
You're the one who should trust me. Tell me what's happening.
You would never believe me.
I came all the way here for you. Now I've found you. I'm ready, Mother.
If only. Louis, I have always taught you to keep your mind open and logical. I know you are going to find it hard to believe, but what I am going to reveal to you is entirely true. Many years ago, I found out that demons really do live among us.
I beg your pardon?
And that they can influence our thoughts.
Mother, listen to yourself. I know you're exhausted, but for crying out loud, listen to what you're saying. Demons? What next? An ancient monster with a head like an octopus? What do your demons look like? Have they got horns and a pointed tail?
No, these are not creatures with billy goat's legs. Forget your Christian folklore. Imagine them more as parasitic spirits. They possess their hosts and direct them from inside.
Parasitic spirits?
Yes, they are capable of going from one body to another as they see fit. And 2 of them are present on this island.
Right. So let me guess. Don't tell me. It isn't Volner and Duke Manuel, is it?
Don't talk nonsense. Both of those poor souls are mere pawns in the hands of the real players.
I was answering at random, Mother.
Do you really believe that I'm joking here? Many years ago, well before you were born, I crossed paths with one of them. Since then, I've spent my life trying to find it again. When we recovered the Alizif, I was persuaded that von Burchard was working for this demon in one way or another. But I thought he would hand the book to a middleman during this conference. That's where I made an error that could well turn out to be fatal. The one who Burchard was meant to give the book to was none other than the demon in person, Mortimer. Not to mention that Holm had sent Volner to get it for him.
Holm and Mortimer are demons?
They both seem to disagree about many things, but I'll admit I never knew exactly why. There are many of them, Louis, not just those 2.
Mother, have you any proof to support any of this?
Of course, but you do too. You had...
Mortimer, Hall y Mortimer. Hall y Mortimer.
Everything laid out in front of you. Didn't you notice anything?
Mother, I shan't follow you down that path. I wouldn't be doing you any favors.
Logical and open, Louis. Tell me then, how can anyone own properties all over the world for centuries by always signing documents with the same signature?
Well, I can find 10 other explanations less eccentric than demonic possession, Mother.
How come the Mortimers have had only one male heir for each generation since the Third Crusade?
Forgery, family rights, where they get rid of the daughter. There are dozens of less extravagant possibilities.
How could one man motivate so many future leading figures of the day on his silly island without anyone finding out about it? Even the Golden Order isn't capable of that.
Well, he's simply better than us, and he's welcome to it.
You refuse to open your eyes, Louis.
You've lost your objectivity, Mother.
I saw him.
What do you mean you saw him?
I was 20 years old. I was young and carefree. I traveled the world in search of adventure. In the Persian Gulf, we came across an ancient grimoire that became unlocked. Composed of 7 parts, each one was a book in itself, set in a sort of metal armor that structured the whole thing. When all the volumes were brought together, they formed a single book. On my return to Paris, I set to studying these pages. I spent all my days and nights studying them.
Oh, I can imagine you doing that.
But the writing was in a language I had never seen before, developed well before Sumerian, in my opinion. So I got the idea to form a small occult circle composed of all the major names in the occult world to see if anyone else could crack it.
And you found no one.
And I found someone, Louis. I found him, or rather he found me. He was young, charismatic, he was flamboyant.
Mortimer?
You mean Mortimer?
He was a veritable mine of knowledge. I showed him the book, and he was able to decipher a few passages. We spent several months together studying the pages. He helped me understand certain passages until I realized that he only translated a few parts for me. But I had aroused his interest. It was too late.
How so?
I mean to say he manipulated me. He used me, and in the end, he stole the book with all its secrets.
Did he ever go to your place?
Not once. At least I don't think so. But before disappearing, he proposed a pact between us. He proposed that I follow him and let him teach me, allow him to bring me up.
And you refused, of course.
Why, naturally, Louis. You don't make deals with the devil. After that, I spent my whole life looking for him. 3 years later, in Berlin, I just missed him. In London, I lost 6 members of the order in a chase. In 1741, in Tunisia, I found a sect of fanatics who had crossed paths with him once. 1741, in Poland. 1749, in India.
8 years ago in Venice.
We agreed never to speak about what happened in Venice, Louis.
You agreed, and that was before you spoke to me about demons. Wait, the baby we delivered, you and me, that night in Venice, did he have anything to do with Lord Mortimer?
The child was his son.
We stole his son? Are you insane? I always thought we took him to save him.
That was the case. It was precisely to save him from his father.
Need I remind you the mother died during childbirth? What became of the child?
Later. For the moment, that is not the key issue here. Once we found the Alazif in Paris, I followed von Borchart's trail here. I didn't think it would lead me straight to the demon. It was careless of me. He toyed with me for a few days, until I caught on, until I saw him as he was. But he had no intention of letting me leave. We are all his pawns, Louis, and if we don't want to spend the rest of our lives turning round in circles here, we must absolutely get off this island. All right, can we move on?
Wait a minute, one last thing. I want to know what happened with Elizabeth Adams.
Louis, we haven't time for those details.
I'm sorry, Mother, but I want to know.
She was one of the receptacles for these monsters. I met her parents when she was born. One of the demons got inside her. The demon used her to spy on her father, John Adams. He is one of the founding fathers and vice president of the United States, you know.
Mortimer possessed her?
No, I don't think it was Mortimer. Her father, John Adams, hired me to tend to her, but the evil in her was too deep. In spite of the various treatments I tried on her, I never succeeded in getting it out of her. It's not something I'm proud of, Louis, but I had to try everything.
Do you know who killed her?
Absolutely not.
I want to know what happened between you and Emily's sister.
Great responsibility often brings difficult choices, Louis. That's all you need to know.
All right, but you're not getting away with it so lightly. Once we get back to Paris, be sure I won't be letting it go.
We'll see in Paris then.
What did you negotiate about the Alazif with Volner?
Absolutely nothing. I managed to pull the wool over his eyes until I found a way to flee.
What was going on with the cannons in Tuscany?
It was nothing.
Samuel Ritter du Choix, you wanted to send me a letter about Godoy.
I wanted you to run a check on Duke Manuel. But frankly, it doesn't really matter anymore now. Godoy is just a pawn like the others. He is not the one I was looking for.
You know, I found your package under a wharf plank.
As a matter of fact, I needed it yesterday. I wasn't expecting anyone to take it.
On the evening of my arrival, Cardinal Piaggi came looking for you. He was determined to give you a letter.
More of his lists. Louis, I think I know what's in that letter, and I beseech you to believe that it is the least of our worries. We can sort that out later.
Are you going to tell me what happened to your hand?
Better than that. I shall show you.
Listo.
Good.
Adelante.
I think that's about right. We shall speak about it once we get back to France.
Great actions for humanity have been decided by demons for centuries, Louis. They are playing with our destiny. We are their slaves. And it's time for it to stop. By the way, what was Mortimer's project at this conference?
He wants the United States to occupy all the North American territory. France should recover Louisiana and give it to the United States. In that case, the Americans would just have to push west to chase the Spanish from the continent once and for all.
And as Mortimer controls Washington, you may just as well say that it will put him at the head of a world superpower. We should do our utmost to put a stop to Mortimer's plans. But for the time being, there are more pressing matters.
Are you going to tell me why we're here?
¿Qué coño es eso, tío?
There. That's why we are here.
Por eso se cortó la mano. He conseguido pasar... No me dicen, tío. No me dicen si ha sido bueno o malo, ¿eh? No sé si es buena o mala, tío. No sé si lo he hecho bien o no. Joder. Espérate. Una me la guardo. Una me la guardo porque tengo esta. Perfecto. No me la guardo porque tengo esta. Meto una aquí. Y meto una aquí. Validar. Doble juego. ¿Doble juego? ¿Por qué?
Reassure me, we aren't going to have to force that one, are we?
Veterano. Tus puntos de esfuerzo aumentan en 1.
I don't think we're even capable of doing it. You're going to have to find a way to open it.
Why, of course. And what's inside?
Something to vanquish them with?
Perfect. So, how does it open?
We'll need several keys. I found a note from the architect who conceived the mechanism in Mortimer's secret study. We have to first gather 6 objects before we try anything.
Are your 6 objects the keys?
Exactly. We have the Clement III cross, the nails, the Gutenberg Bible, the exegesis of Judas, an armillary sphere, and all we need to match up the dates between the different calendars.
Why a cross?
Well, I haven't the foggiest idea, but it just so happens that's what you are going to use to activate the mechanism. I found the one Mortimer kept. It belonged to Cardinal Guibert, better known by the name of Pope Clement III.
Perfect. Where is it?
Unfortunately, I've lost it. When I lost my hand, I went dashing out, and it must have fallen from my pocket.
Remember, Mother. I'm certain you can remember.
Let me think.
You were running.
I was bleeding to death.
You remember the pain.
I thought I was going to faint. Yes, I remember. I don't think it can be far, can it?
Would you have lost it outside?
No, I don't think so. It must be in the area. I don't remember going up with it.
Perfect. I'll search the crypt before leaving.
Vale. Vale, la cruz. La cruz está. Vale. Tengo tantas cosas en mi escritorio. O sea, en el cajón de mi escritorio que da miedo. Vale, la cruz. La cruz. En la cueva. Los clavos.
Some nails?
Don't ask me. I'm not the one who made the mechanism, you know. When I arrived, there were already a few of them inserted, so I didn't have to worry about those. On the other hand, I remember seeing some in Mortimer's secret study, behind his
En
nightmare.
el estudio.
In a golden cup? Yes. Yes, I saw them too.
Perfect. It will be easy for you to find them then. You need 3 of them.
Very well.
You remember what to do about the rollers. 1191 to enter, and 6466 to exit.
Of course.
6466.
Some nails?
Don't ask me. I'm not the one who made the mechanism, you know.
Salir.
When I arrived, there were already a few of them inserted, so I didn't have to worry about those. On the other hand, I remember seeing some in Mortimer's secret
Tres.
study, behind his nightmare.
Tres clavos.
In a golden cup? Yes. Yes, I saw them too.
Perfect. It will be easy for you to find them then. You
Copa.
need 3 of them.
Very well.
You remember what to do about the rollers. 1191 to
Uno,
enter,
uno.
and
6466
6466 to exit.
Of course.
Entrar. Vale. 3 clavos, copa dorada. Vale.
Exegesis. Anything else?
Did you manage to vanquish the Medusa?
To open the chimney? Yes, absolutely.
So you've already come across it. It's the Bible of Judas that is exposed in the secret room behind the chimney.
Why do they call it an exegesis?
Because that's what it is, and not an apocryphal Bible, strictly speaking. It's the study of a text with a summary, not an actual Bible. Anyway, well done for the Gorgon. You did well. You didn't get tricked by the light bouncing back.
Thanks. Do you think I can take it safely?
We haven't got a choice, Louis. Without it, we won't be able to work out this cursed mechanism.
Otra.
There's one in the portrait gallery.
That's right.
You still believe it's in the tower room, don't you?
I don't know. There is only one way to find out, though.
Right. I shall go and see. There's one in the portrait gallery.
Yes, but it's enormous. If you don't want to have to go back and forth several times, then I suggest you get a smaller one.
What did you do then?
I didn't think I'd need one. I started without one, and I lost my hand before I did need one. And you can see the result.
Vale. Buscar. Buscar. Esfera pequeña. Buscar esfera pequeña. Las esferas.
What do you mean by the concordance of dates exactly?
Don't worry about that. We already have them. They are written on the back of the message I just gave you.
Vale.
One last thing before you go. Be very careful. If you come across anyone, they can all potentially be spies of Mortimer or Holm. Don't ever confide in anyone because a demon can slip inside them at any moment.
Wait, not all of them though. Take Washington.
Especially Washington. He's been conditioned by Mortimer for years. Look at them, for crying out loud. How do you explain their behavior otherwise? The most influential politicians in the Western world gather together without the least protection, without a single aid to assist them, to participate in a conference during which the guests start dropping like flies. Me, Adams, Peru, Hillsborough. Look at the number of calamities that have happened over the past few days. And not one of them has asked to leave the island? Do you find that normal? You'll see. Go up to the manor to look for the keys, and I wager not one of them will speak to you about my being in Emily's room.
Do you think so?
Go on, you'll see. And come back with all the objects in one go. Time is against us. And remember, the code to get out of the secret office is 6646.
Vale. Manipulación. Sí. Moneda.
This is Cersei. A ruble. Hey, a
Moneda.
Russian ruble. I wonder what would be worth.
Famous cross
Moneda.
of Clement III. Perfect. And one key found.
Lince. Cónsul. Lince. Observación, un punto. Voy a ponerlo.
Tell me, Mother, you wouldn't know anything that might save me some time, would you?
That's where you'll have to put the Clement III cross. You insert the cross into the slot, and it will open the iris. But don't do it straight away. Start by gathering everything together, because you've seen what happens when you try to go too fast.
Vale.
You ought to go, Louis. If someone finds us here, the situation might well become seriously complicated.
Vale. Vale. Pues nada, gente, voy a dejarlo, que son las 1:30. Y voy a dejarlo aquí. La verdad que una pasada, sinceramente. Creo que se ha ido un poquito las cosas para mí, bajo mi criterio. Creo que se ha ido un poquito la cosa con que hay un monstruo, un demonio, no sé. No sé, eso no me ha hecho gracia. Coño la mosca. Pero bueno, a ver qué tal. Ahora viene puzzle gordo. Vamos a buscar las cositas y ahí a intentar pues no perder la mano. No sé si haré directo por la noche, no sé si haré directo mañana, o sea, no sé si haré directo por la noche o ya mañana por la mañana. Si es ya mañana por la mañana será un directo más largo. Hoy es cierto que es un directo de 2 horas y 20 más o menos. Pero bueno, ha sido un directo bien, bien. Le hemos cagado en algunas cosas, en otras cosas las hemos hecho bien. Y, y lo más importante, no sabemos si hemos acertado lo de Emily. No sabemos si hemos matado a Emily o si hemos matado a Emma. No lo sé. Yo creo que lo hemos hecho bien, pero el juego nos lo deja ahí al aire. Así que bueno, dicho esto, gente, un placer como siempre. Así que un besito y chao.